To the quarterfinals we go now with the host Ivory Coast taking on dark horses surprise package Mali. Which one of these nations are going to go through to the semi-finals? We're going to take a little look next. Preview video today. We're looking forward to Mali up against Ivory Coast in the quarter-finals. That's right, of the AFCON 2023. Who's going to come out on top? We'll take a look at it, all of it in a second. Of course, if you're new, where you been? Smash your subscribe button, your one-stop shop for the Blackburn Rovers, world football, and the AFCON right here under one roof. Of course, Ivory Coast have been slow burners, slow starters, and have actually had a roller coaster. The tournament so far. Can it, of course, continue a little bit further with a spot in the semis? We'll take a look at it in a second. Of course, big shout out to my VIPs. They are the patrons. You know who you are. But if you are new, make sure you subscribe. Of course, we are looking forward to it. It is, of course, Mali up against Ivory Coast coming at you at the Stade Olympique Alassane Ouattara. That's right, on the 3rd of February. But anyway, let's remind ourselves how we got to this stage with, of course, Mali. Coming at you as Group G winners, 18th of June 2023. It's their 13th final. 2021 was the last. They were runners-up back in 72. Of course, Eric Chelle is your manager there. Czech Takore, your star man. 20 didn't want to go the distance. I did think they would be at the last 16, but they are one step further now heading into this. Let's take a look at their journey then so far, kicking off with that 2-0 win against South Africa, a monster draw against Tunisia, wrapping up the group stage with a 0-0 draw against Namibia to come out of it unbeaten with 5 points out of a possible 9. Then they took on Burkina Faso into a surprise result, I thought. I think they were underdogs in that one, but now they come into this game even pegging against Ivory Coast side, who we don't really know too much about, even though they're loaded with stars, of course. Take a look at the squad then here for Mali. We got Diawara between Sixtante, Nakante, Fafana, Traore, Hadera, Koulibaly, Basoma, Doumbia, Sissoko, and Traore up top. What about the opposition then? It will be the Ivory Coast coming at you as Group H runners-up, a.k.a. the hosts as well. They qualified on the 30th of January 2019. It's their 25th finals. 2021 was their last. They were the champions back in 92 and 2015. Jean-Louis Gasset is your manager there. Ousmane Diomande, your star man there. 7-1 to go the distance, of course. I did have them exiting also at the last 16, and how wrong have I been? But they have had one of the world's craziest AFCON tournaments so far. They did open up with a 2-0 win against Guinea-Bissau, then they lost to the Ivory Coast 1-0. Actually, they lost, to Nigeria 1-0. Then, of course, a bit of a spanking, of course, a major spanking against Equatorial Guinea 4-0. Back-to-back goalless affairs in their match. But, of course, then they got dragged into a last 16 encounter against Senegal, dragging that one to penalties as well. Coming out on top of them with a big 5-4 win to set up this quarterfinal with Mali. And, of course, on the horizon, potentially, is the semi-final berth in their own backyard. That's right. Let's take a look. Of course, let's go back there, actually. Top it. They actually came in 3rd place with just 3 points by the skin of their teeth. That's right. Let's take a look at the key players then. We've got Fafana between the sticks. We've got Conan, Ndeka, Diomande, Aurier, Fafana, Sangari, Kessie, and Ndirenga, Hala, and Diakante up top. Those are the key individuals. Let's take a look at the numbers now. These two sides have played each other 8 times. 2008, we've got 1 win for Mali, 5 wins for Ivory Coast, and there's been 2 draws, of course. Mali, 1-0 win, the biggest, scoring 3 goals in those 8 games, 0.38 goals a game. Up against Ivory Coast, 3-0 win, the biggest, 10 goals in total, 1.25 goals a game. They're on 67% form at the moment, are the Ivory Coast. Mali on 75% form, unbeaten in the last 11 games. Now, these two sides did lock horns back in July 2019. In the round of 16 of the AFCON, it was a 1-0 win for the Ivory Coast, who are unbeaten against Mali over the last 3 and just conceded 1 goal against them in those last 3 games. The goals for Ivory Coast coming from Kessie, Fafana, and Crasso. As for Mali, Sonoko chipping in with 3 goals to be one of the top goal scorers as well. The bookies have Mali at 5-2 for the victory, 2-1 is of course the draw, 30-10 is of course your Ivory Coast here. What about the public vote? The public vote is going with the host here, 58% of it, 42% going with Mali. It's still early days on the vote, so get your vote in there as well. But that's the public vote. That's of course the bookies. What about me here, guys? It's all about me, and my gut feeling has a victory for Ivory Coast, of course, picking up a cheeky one, just a 1-0 win. They've been that kind of a team in this tournament. They're not really blown us away with their style of play. Of course, they're coachless at the moment. The head coach abandoning them after a really dismal group stage. He should be coming back with his tail between his legs right here, right now, to steer these guys on in the quarterfinals. But unfortunately, they did okay against the champion Senegal. They have got the home faithful on their back, and I do believe that they're going to at least roar them into the next round, where, of course, they'll be set up with a potentially tasty semi-final. We'll look forward to that if, of course, that comes out in the wash. But until then, guys, subscribe, thumbs up, catch you later for the next one. We are looking forward to these quarterfinals and, of course, those resulting semi-finals. We'll catch you later, but until then, subscribe.